What's going on? This is Julian with Max Level and Crew Ham. While I'm waiting to go back to St. Louis and waiting on some food, I ordered some Roscoe's. But I wanted to take the chance to kind of talk about my first E3 experience. Now, I know for many people, it's going to be a lot different because this year they allowed in the public. This is the first year they've done that, so it's been an additional 15,000 people in attendance. So, first off, I'm just going to say my first day kind of felt like PAX. Oh, let me do that. Okay. It kind of felt like PAX. And the reason I say that is you just end up standing in lines for hours to play like the biggest games. And a lot of the indie stuff, smaller stuff, you can kind of get right in there depending on how well known it is. Now, this is an industry event. And from the industry standpoint, it seems like they changed up a lot of things as well. So you used to be able to walk up to, even if you didn't have an appointment, walk up to a PR booth, check for different times to see if you can get in to play some of these bigger games. Now, this time, that main difference was that in some cases, especially in Nintendo, unless you were in good with someone, you were not. Excuse the dog. I can't do anything about that one. But unless you were in with someone, you couldn't really get in to play anything at the Nintendo booth without a kind of a pre-established appointment. Now moving over, so that was the kind of the first day. It was really hectic, really crazy, hard to get your hands on anything. Second day, I was kind of going around with different people who knew people. Now the difference with that, when you have those relationships, you're still able to kind of get in, get your hands on games. I'm not really sure about interviewing people, but actually playing, that was a little bit easier. If I'm remembering correctly, Microsoft was in West Hall, Sony and Nintendo were in South, as far as the big three go. Second, third day, the Sony booth was not too crazy because they did this experience app, which allows people to go in, set up a time so they can come and play the game so they don't have to worry about that all day. That was good and bad. Like, those spots filled up like that. Now, the Microsoft booth was Microsoft and Nintendo. Those were kind of like a total, like, it was just crazy. The queue lines would fill up almost immediately, and you couldn't wait outside of the queue line for it to open back up. They made you keep walking, which in most cases made a lot of people miss their chance to play the only game you can really get in and play like really quickly was Minecraft in 4K. And I'm no offense, but it's been out for so long that not everyone is worried about that one. So I'm hoping that going into next year, that if they continue to allow this amount of people in, that they kind of change some things up on both sides. By that I mean both media and, let me make sure my mic is on. Okay. Both media and consumer. Just to kind of give people an enjoyable experience. Because it seems like even the Twitch stage was pretty cool. That never really seemed to fill up. Kind of allowed a lot of people to get a different experience. A lot of the biggest Coliseum events, E3 Coliseum, those filled up quickly. And you can only imagine, like I said, 15,000 people. There's no way you're going to fit those into a room unless you have some type of stadium. What else? like I said, outside of the first day, my first E3 experience was very enjoyable. I met a lot of people, made some good connections, met up with old friends, and I really think kind of that's what it's about. I mean, I talked to Major Nelson, ran into Phil Spencer. I saw Hideo Kojima. He kind of doesn't like to stop too much. I'm sure he gets stopped a lot. But yeah, it was crazy. I really enjoyed myself. So I don't know. I still say, I mean, if you can try to make it, it's a good experience. If it costs a little bit too much, if it's like I said, if it's going to still be like this, more and more companies are kind of doing their own thing outside of E3. So I can definitely see a lot of people, or I would suggest a lot of people trying PAX, one of the PAXs. And there's 3 times a year that you can try to get into that. You have PAX South in January, PAX East in like the April, March. I think it's April next year, next year. And you have PAX South, Prime / PAX West around the end of August, beginning of September time. So, that's all I wanted for now. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned to both Crew Ham and Max Level. We're going to have a lot of, I guess, different content coming out in the coming days. So, again, thanks for watching.